One swing can change an entire season, and for the Charlottesville Tom Sox, that happened last night. Trailing by 2 runs and down to their final out, Kyle Edwards launched a mammoth 2-run home run, which helped the Tom Sox prevail 11-9 in extra innings. The Sox 3 ninth-inning home runs and an extra inning victory brings us to today. Game 3 of the VBL semifinals with a trip to the championship on the line. Hello and welcome to Cho Airport Field for a do-or-die Game 3 between the Charlottesville Tom Sox and the Strasburg Express. I'm Alex Rocco, joined alongside by my broadcast partner, Nathan Schwartz. And Nathan, it was a wild ride last night that had many twists and turns. How big of an emotional victory was it for the Sox, and how do they harness that for today? Well, thank you, Nathan, and that will be the lineup facing the starter for the River Bandits in Jarrett Bond. This is Bond's 9th appearance, 5th start on the season. So far, has tossed 25 innings, has a 1-0 record, and pitching to the tune of a 6.48 ERA. Digging in is the aforementioned second baseman, Kyle Edwards. Edwards hitting .284, 3 home runs, 19 RBIs. It's his 34th game played this summer. Bond out of the windup. His first pitch to Edwards, taken right down the middle for strike 1.
This isn't the first time that Bond will face the Tom Sox lineup this season. Back in the first matchup between these two teams, all the way back at the beginning of the summer on June the 7th, Bond went two-thirds of an inning in that game, gave up 3 runs, only 1 earned on 1 hit, and did walk a batter. So has some experience against some of the guys that have been here since the beginning for the Tom Sox.
One of those guys is Kyle Edwards as he watches the next pitch from Bond. Cross for strike number 2. Bond peers in, gets a sign from his catcher in Drake Bicknell. The 0-2 tried to get the outside corner, doesn't get the call. Edwards still up at the dish with the count 1-2.
Edwards didn't start the first game of the doubleheader yesterday. He's been dealing with a little bit of arm fatigue, meaning he's been playing some first and second base recently rather than his traditional shortstop spot, but still consistent at the plate.
Edwards fouls that one off right off the mask of Bicknell. You mentioned Kyle getting some reps at first base, playing second base today, and he's been a rock at shortstop, but we've really seen Connor Hanks play excellent defense all year long, and now he's getting the opportunity to thrive at shortstop with Edwards dealing with some arm fatigue.
Yeah, and Connor's been able to play anywhere on this infield, even played left field briefly at the beginning of the season. So really the do-it-all guy for Lyndon Coleman and this Tom Sox staff. And Edwards, same thing. He's played now all the infield positions as well, just scattering guys in and out of different positions. That's what summer ball has to turn into sometimes, pretty much just putting guys where you can get your best athletes, best defenders out on the field, as Bicknell's a little shaken up behind the plate.
And Edwards fouled that last pitch right off and hit Bicknell there, and just talking things over and making sure that his catcher is okay is the head coach, Mike Bocock. Bicknell looks like he will be okay, staying in the game now, is set to resume play here. Edwards still in that 1-2 count. Kyle has really had a successful season so far, hitting .284, flashed some power with 3 home runs, 19 RBIs, and you have to mention the speed with Kyle Edwards. 20 stolen bases, only been caught once this year, and like in the infield, he's really done it all at the dish, that prototypical leadoff hitter for Lyndon Coleman.
Yeah, and he's been at the top of the lineup for all but about a week of the season between games he had hit in the 9 spot and games that he missed. He's had a hit in 21 of the 33 games he's played so far this year.
Bond goes with the breaking ball and gets Edwards to expand the zone as he is sat down for the first out of the bottom of the first.
Number 30, Connor Hanks.
Now it's the shortstop, Connor Hanks, digging in. Hanks hitting second today after Bryce Martinez sitting out in game number 1. It's typically been Edwards and Martinez at the top of the Tom Sox order so far, but Hanks getting a crack here in the number 2 hole, and he watches the first pitch run inside for ball number 1 from Jarrett Bond. Bond out of the windup, the 1-0 to Hinks. That one misses low and in the dirt.
And the approach for Connor has really transformed over the past 3 weeks or so. He was really struggling over the first month and some change of the season. Average was in the low 200s, 200 to 210 range. But recently he started to take the approach of being more patient at the plate, not swinging at so many pitches early in the count. You saw right there in this at-bat, he took the first 2 pitches to get to a 2-0 count. He's drawn a walk in 8 straight games, 9 of his last 10. His average has shot all the way up to 283, and his OPS is near 800 as well. Just a complete 180 for Hinks coming from the middle of this lineup, now being able to put him in that 2 spot at the top.
Hinks watches the next pitch from Bond. Get in there for strike number 2, and just like that, from 2-0 to 2-2 goes Jarrett Bond. Looking to put away Hinks for the second out of the inning. The 2-2 pitch. Hinks fouls this one off his hands and out of play. You mentioned the patience that he's had at the plate. 28 walks so far through 35 games, and you mentioned the average shooting up. Even his extra base hits, too. He's putting a lot more hard contact, and it's benefited the Tom Sox. The 2-2 from Bond to Hinks, breaking ball, got him looking. Jarrett Bond, back-to-back strikeouts to open the game, and just like that, 2 quick outs here in this bottom half of the inning.
And it's been that looping curveball for Bond. It really comes out of nowhere, but 12-6 action, deceptive, and it's gotten Kyle Edwards when he chased it in the dirt, and then Hinks right there. Started at his head, wound up at the belt for strike 3.
Well, we talked about hot hitters with Connor Hinks bringing up, and now it's Chris Arroyo, who is hitting .385 so far through 12 games. Does have a home run and 9 RBIs. His first pitch swing is Arroyo. He skies this one down the third baseline and well out of play.
And Chris was really struggling at the plate before yesterday, but you take a look at what he did yesterday, and that's a big reason why his numbers just shot up. He started at first base in both games. He was 5 for 6. Had a solo homer in Game 2, a bases clearing triple in Game 1, also had a double in Game 1, 4 RBIs total on the day. He hit for the unofficial cycle. He had a triple, a double, and a single in Game 1, hit a homer in Game 2. Obviously, 2 games in the same day where he was able to combine for the cycle, but wasn't all within 1 registered game.
Bond gets Arroyo to sky this one up. Nearing it is the second baseman, Joe Jakonski, who puts it away for a easy third out of the inning. The Tom Sox go 1-2-3 here in the bottom of the first, and we head to the top of the second with the game still even at 0. Henry Ford leading things off here in the bottom of the 4th inning. I'm Alex Rocco, joined alongside by Nathan Schwartz. Ford, first pitch swinging, chops this down the third base line. Past Lyndon Coleman, who's coaching third. David Udagawa, who got the start last night over there at first base. Dave's a man of the people. He really coaches first. He does a good job as Ford launches this one into center field, and that gets down for a leadoff single. Reese Woody plays it on a hop, and Henry Ford gets the party started here in the bottom of the 4th.
Yeah, it's hard to believe with the production Ford has had recently that he's sitting in this 6th spot in the lineup. It's good to have him towards the bottom of this lineup to really get a really balanced order, but with the struggles that the top 2 guys and Martinez and Edwards have been having recently, Fink and Arroyo, pretty good spots as well. Teal, you would think he could be brought up in the lineup as well, and especially for Ford, now approaching a 500 average in this postseason, you really would think that he'd be higher up in the lineup. But if he continues to produce, I don't think Lyndon Coleman's going to want to change anything.
Ford now 7 hits so far this postseason as he dives back in safely after the pickoff move from Bailey Peak. Peak lines up on the outside of the rubber, now deals the next pitch to Ferentz for a ball. This one grounded down the third base line and just foul as Ferentz put a good swing on it and nearly had extra base hits.
It's a couple of times now for Ferentz where he's just missed an extra base hit down the first base sign, and I'm preaching to the choir here, but if you continue to wait on these pitches, better things are going to happen. We saw it right there for 40. Waited on a breaking ball and got a really good swing on it, lined it right at the middle for a base hit. So if the other hitters in the Tom Sox lineup can take the same approach, things could get pretty good for the Tom Sox pretty quickly.
The man on deck, Sergio Rivera, got the first hit of the night for the Sox, and he hit a ground ball down the third base line. As the count is now 2-2 here to Ferentz. Peak checks forward at first base. His next offering bounces in the dirt, blocked by Hooks. Now the count runs full here with no outs in the inning. Ferentz crushed a home run last night, which made it a 9-7 ball game before Kyle Edwards hit a game-tying home run and the Sox prevailed 11-9. The 3-2 pitch runs too far inside and drills Jacob Ferentz, and Charlottesville has 2 runners to begin the inning.
That's exactly what Ferentz needed to do, just find some way to get on base. It's the 5th time he's been hit by a pitch in just his 9th game this summer. He was hit by 4 over 5 games in the regular season, his first of this postseason. But now this sets up a perfect opportunity for Sergio Rivera to lay down a bunt, but first we're going to get a mound visit.
So there will be a mound visit, and you mentioned the bunt for Sergio Rivera, and that's something that he had done all regular season long, and Lyndon Coleman likes to play that small ball style, so you would expect a bunt to be in play as Henry Ford stands on second and Jacob Ferentz is on first base. Bailey Peak has really done a nice job so far against a potent Charlottesville lineup, and he really hasn't had a whole lot of experience so far this summer. Just 5 1/3 innings pitched, and in those contests, 3 earned runs allowed, gave up 5 walks, only struck out 1 batter, and pitched to the tune of a 5.06 ERA.
Yeah, and just looking at the game log for Peak, he just really doesn't have a whole lot of innings in each of his appearances. So the fact that he's been able to go 3 innings so far and get the amount of success that he's had, it's been really impressive, but there is some action in the Strasburg bullpen. Who knows how much longer he can go and before the Tom Sox can catch up to the velocity.
Peak 64 pitches so far through 3 innings.
And his longest outing before this one was his last outing in Winchester, where he went 2 2/3 innings, went 2 innings the outing before that. So he has experience going multiple innings, but not this far into the game.
And Rivera does, in fact, lay down the bunt. Fielding it is Peak. His throw to first base, not in time as Sergio Rivera legs it out. The bases are loaded for the Tom Sox, and it's Mr. Tom Sox, Garrett Spikes, digging in.
And we've seen that multiple times this summer for Sergio Rivera, just legging out an infield single with a bunt. He had 16 hits in the regular season, 4 hits this postseason before tonight. I'd probably say a quarter of those were on infield bunt singles, and now Garrett Spikes a prime opportunity to tie this game.
Spikes' first pitch swing again. He pops it up down the third base line. Giving it a run is the left fielder Victor Castillo, who puts it away for out number 1, and it's back-to-back flyouts for Garrett Spikes.
And there's that impatience again for Garrett Spikes. Same thing as that first at-bat for him, where he sees a first pitch on the outside part of the plate, but with a slower velocity, he tries to take it the other way, and he does take it the other way, but gets his hands underneath the ball and pops it straight up into shallow left field. So if you're Bryce Martinez right here, you would think you want to take a couple pitches if Peak remains in the ballgame, but with this being the second mound visit, that's going to do it for the night on Bailey Peak.
And Bailey Peak's contest is over as the Express head to the bullpen, and we will have more on the new arm after the break. Drew DeSanto is the new arm for the Strasburg Express, and he enters in a tough test with the bases loaded and the Tom Sox leadoff hitter, Bryce Martinez, due up.
You know, one thing we both noticed during the break, Alex, right off the jump, a much higher velocity for DeSanto than Peak, so it might take the Tom Sox hitters a couple pitches to see and get adjusted to the new arm slot and the velocity of the pitch.
DeSanto fires the first pitch and nearly drills Bryce Martinez in the head. Bryce tonight 0 for 2 with a pair of groundouts. The 1-0 once again misses high for ball 2, and DeSanto struggled with command during the regular season, had 11 walks in 13 innings pitched, and that trend continued in the playoffs. Has made one appearance, went 2 1/3 innings. That came against Woodstock back on July 27th. Martinez taking all the way here as DeSanto can't find the zone, and the count now moves to 3-0.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect Bryce to swing at either of the next two pitches with the bases being loaded, knowing the tying run is at third base, and with DeSanto already throwing 3 balls over his head, there's just no reason to swing the bat.
The 3-0 is right down the middle, and Martinez taking all the way. The count now moves to 3-1. Henry Ford led off the inning with a single. Jacob Ferentz was plunked. He stands on second, and Sergio Rivera legged out a bunt single. Next offering misses high, and Bryce Martinez draws an RBI walk, and we are tied here in Charlottesville.
And that's exactly the kind of at-bat that Charlottesville needed, just to be patient. Didn't even need to lift the bat off the shoulder for Bryce Martinez, and now Kyle Edwards can continue to be more patient, make DeSanto throw a couple strikes before being aggressive and trying to leg a ball into the outfield.
Edwards has worked 4 walks so far this postseason as DeSanto starts him out with another ball. Edwards once again finds himself up in a big spot. Last night it was with 2 outs. He crushed a game-tying home run. Let's see what he can do here as DeSanto pours in another ball here to Edwards.
For DeSanto, it seemed like during the regular season and his first appearance in the postseason, it was either he gave up no runs or he gave up multiple runs. There was 5 appearances during the regular season where he gave up multiple runs, and all his other appearances, he had 11 of them, so 6 other appearances for him. He didn't give up any runs. So really just, it seems like for DeSanto, it's either look really good or really struggle, and so far it's starting to lean towards the struggling part.
DeSanto gets the call on the inside corner. Through 8 pitches, 6 of which have been balls. The 2-1, Edwards pops this one up foul and out of play. From 2-0 to 2-2 to Edwards here. Bases remain loaded with 1 out in the bottom of the 4th. Tom Sox and Express tied in a do-or-die Game 3. The 2-2. This one lined and off the glove of the third baseman, Mitchell Smith. Ferentz comes in to score. Rivera gets the wave home. The throw to the plate is cut off by Smith, and Kyle Edwards gives the Tom Sox a 3-1 lead.
And there is the key to success for the Tom Sox tonight, being patient. Kyle works a 2-2 count. It started out 2-0. He gets a fastball in his power zone, drives it through the glove of the third baseman, Mitchell Smith, and with the speed at second for Rivera, Lyndon Coleman wasted no time giving him the wave around, and just like that, it's turned into a 3-1 lead for Charlottesville.
Now it's Chris Arroyo, who is yet to record an official at-bat, has reached twice via the walk. DeSanto gets Arroyo swinging on an off-speed pitch to begin the at-bat, but another hit for Kyle Edwards, 3 straight games with a knock. Edwards with 4 RBIs in the last 2 contests. As Arroyo puts a charge into this one, going back is Woody and Hodges, and they will look up, and this will hit off the base of the wall. As Arroyo will now run into second. Martinez will come home. Edwards was confused on the base pass. He makes it into third, but it's an RBI double for Chris Arroyo, and the Sox are hot as they now lead 4-1.
And now this is the type of offense that Tom Sox have been waiting to see all night long. It just took a little bit of a change in velocity, a little bit more of a flat fastball for them to start seeing the ball better. And off the bat, it looked like Arroyo had a 3-run shot, but he'll take an RBI double any day of the week.
That was a towering fly ball for Chris Arroyo, but another extra base hit for him. And now the Tom Sox have runners on second and third with still only 1 out as Nathan Fink watches a first pitch fastball for strike number 1.
And now we have the final line for Peak. He goes 3 1/3, gives up 3 earned runs on 4 hits, walked 3, and did not record a strikeout.
DeSanto's next pitch bounces in the dirt, gloved by Hooks. Count now moves to 1-1. Charlottesville's offense, all it needed, Nathan, was a change in velocity. And they have put up 4 as Fink pops this one up, and it gets out of play. Count now runs to 1 and 2.
Well, sometimes, and really this goes for any level, you just really start struggling against one pitcher. You can't figure him out, and when a new pitcher comes in, it sort of serves as a reset button, and that's exactly what happened. New pitcher comes in at the top of the lineup. Martinez and Edwards wasted no time fixing their swings.
Fink lines us to the second baseman, Cade Parker, and he is retired, but coming in to score is Kyle Edwards, and the Sox now lead 5-1 here in the bottom of the 4th.
And just doing a job right there, hitting the ball the other side of the infield, giving Edwards a chance to come home. And it was an inside-out swing. Fink didn't get the best swing on the pitch, but it drove in a run, and that's all you could ask for the Tom Sox right now.
It's Nathan Fink's 19th RBI on the season and his 6th in the postseason. Now it's Aiden Teal up with Arroyo still standing on second after Edwards came in to score. Next pitch from DeSanto misses high for a ball. Teal today has been quiet so far, 0 for 2, but up in a big spot with a runner in scoring position. DeSanto kicks and deals, misses off the plate for another ball, and Teal's up in the count 3-0. Arroyo leads off second. The 3-0 from DeSanto in there for strike number 1. Teal thought it was ball 4, nearly walked out of the batter's box and down to the first base line, but he comes back. DeSanto takes a look back at Arroyo, his 3-1. Teal skies this one, and calling off the shortstop, Anthony LaSala, is the left fielder, Victor Castillo, as he makes the catch and puts it away for the 3rd out of the inning. But the Charlottesville Tom Sox offense has exploded in the bottom of the 4th as they put up a 5 spot and now lead this ball game 5-1. Stay tuned for more right here on Tom Sox TV. Gumpf hitting 178 this summer in 19 games played. Gumpf gives this one a ride. Going back to the track is Sanchez, giving it a look, and that ball's gone. Brady Gumpf absolutely demolishes a ball to the deepest part of the ballpark, and just like that, the Tom Sox answer with a 3-run shot here in the bottom of the 2nd.
Ole Miss, home of the Dean of SEC broadcasters, David Kellum.
Edwards takes off for third base. This ball gets through into center field, and Nathan Fink gets the Tom Sox on the board early with an RBI single into center field. Marlowe now comes set, gets a sign from Carlson, and that one's blasted deep in the left field, and that one's gone. Calvin Alexander launches the 3-1 pitch deep over the left field wall, and Nathan, we talked about the home run ball not being a part of the Tom Sox games. Well, Calvin Alexander heard you, and he delivered in a massive way, making it a 9-4 game. The 0-2 on the way to Nardellis. Swing and a miss. Braden Halliday with back-to-back Ks as he strands 2 runners. And we head to the bottom of the 1st inning with the score 0-0. Stay tuned for more action right here on Tom Sox TV. We have a lot of teams bunched up near the top. You mentioned Harrisonburg. They have a 28-15 record. Charlottesville 24-14. Strasburg 27-16 as Chris Arroyo running with the pitch, and Henry Ford absolutely demolishes the ball deep to left field, and that ball's way gone. Henry Ford flashing the power as he goes yard, and the 2nd Tom Sock home run today as Henry Ford brings home Chris Arroyo, Aiden Teal, and himself for a 3-run shot, and the Tom Sox take a 9-4 lead. 1-2, 2 out here in the bottom of the 9th. Jarvis Evans 1-2 pitch, blows it right by him. 3 straight strikeouts to end the bottom of the 9th, and just like that, the Charlottesville Tom Sox come away with a 12-4 victory over the Harrisonburg Turks to improve on the year to an impressive 4 straight victories. Hey, Tom Sox fans, I'm Alex Rocco, joined alongside by Jordan Little as we're here at Show Airport Field. And Jordan, let's take a walk with me. Let's walk around the field and answer some questions about your season and just overall how the Tom Sox have played this year. So, starting off with you, you come out of the bullpen a lot for the Tom Sox. You've had a lot of success this year, striking out a lot of hitters. What has led to your success?
I mean, honestly, being out here and playing for the Tom Sox, I'm having fun every day. It's really kind of freed me up to, be who I actually am as a pitcher. And, obviously there's some pretty talented hitters in this league, and they make me better. So, just biggest thing is having fun.
And you mentioned having fun. What has been your most fun moment so far here in Charlottesville?
Might be a little controversial, but the bus rides are actually a little more fun than it actually seems, even though we're riding like a little yellow school bus. There's a lot of people play like Mafia on there, and everybody kind of jokes around, and you get to know your teammates a little better. So it's fun time.
Who would you say is the biggest jokester on the team?
I'd say David Udogawa cracks some pretty good jokes.
What's a joke that David has pulled or a prank that he's done so far?
It's more of a LeBron James kind of TikTok sound. Don't really want to, quote it, but I think most people would probably understand it.
Going back to you, though, you spent the past 2 seasons at ECU. Your team this past season made it to the NCAA tournament. What was it like being a part of that run?
Yeah, I mean, I love all those guys there. It's just a bunch of, great group of guys. The atmosphere for, Virginia, it was crazy. All the fans are crazy. Top level baseball. Can't really get much better than that. It was a great time, fun time.
And after the season was over, you entered the transfer portal and asked your destination, going to Virginia Tech. What was it like committing to the Hokies, and why was that such a special destination?
Yeah, I just thought a change in scenery would definitely help me. I love the coaches there. I have a couple friends on the team. They said the environment and the atmosphere, not only outside of the team but within the team, is just great. It's like one big family there, and they have the best coaching staff. Pretty much anywhere you can go. So I love all the coaches, love the school, great education, and I really think I can develop there.
Jordan, what would you say is one thing that people don't know a lot about you?
I would say that I'm a Swiftie, big Swiftie. Favorite song is "Bad Blood" by Taylor Swift.
It's a good song.
Can't go wrong with that.
It's an excellent song, but thank you so much, Jordan, for spending some time and walking around the bases here at Show Airport
Thank
Field.
you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Tom Sox fans, I'm Alex Rocco, joined alongside by outfielder Sergio Rivera. And Sergio, you played extremely well to start off the year, flashing the leather out in left field, stealing a lot of bases, and you've clearly demonstrated your talents on the field, but now it's time to show your talents off the field, and I've found out that one of your hidden talents is magic tricks.
Sure.
Let me show me what you got.
Well, before the cameras went on, he shuffled that deck of cards for me, and I want you to sign this paper real quick before we do everything.
Sweet.
So now let me show you that the cards are all good. There's nothing wrong with them. It's all a normal deck of cards. And now I'm gonna sign this paper. Can you hold them real quick?
Yep.
Scratch this, and now we'll ask you for the hold this. This is the deck of cards. Shuffle them since we see the cards. Now I need you to tell me a number. Any number.
We'll go with 7.
7. Let's go. Can you put your hand? Sorry.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There you go. Number bigger than 7.
8.
8. Can you see them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And 8 minus 7 is 1, right?
Yep.
There's 1, and this will be your card. And now you can see that card and open that paper real quick.
That's incredible. I have no idea how you did that. Well, Tom Sox fans, Sergio Rivera, definitely full of tricks on and off the field. Thank you so much for tuning in to Tom Sox TV. For Sergio Rivera, I'm Alex Rocco.